What's up? What's up? What's up, people? Welcome to the weigh in. Welcome to the weigh in. We are here. We are here. And it's another Sunday night, another week. And we are here. It is not freezing cold, so I can actually sit in other parts of my house. It is amazing to be able to do that again. Because I was in that room. I mean, I'm wrong. My room served a great purpose, but now I can actually come out and play in other areas of my house. So I am B Banks, and this is another edition of the Weigh In. It is Sunday, February 28th of 2021, and we are definitely about to weigh in. And our topic tonight is none other than it's time to boss up, live fearlessly. All right. I hope y'all are ready to weigh in and talk about some of these hot things. Tonight I didn't come with a predestined conversation or anything, not like last week. I know last week was a little more heavier and more surreal for a lot of us. But this week is going to be more fun, more motivational, and definitely more of a collaborative feeling because there are a lot of us who have learned how to boss up. There are a lot of us who've learned how to live fearlessly in many different ways. And so I definitely want to talk about those different ways and how we can live fearlessly. How can we boss up in our life? And that looks a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. That could be financially, that could be job wise, education wise, that could be in your personal life. That could also be, just some of the things you want to do personally in your life. And so it's kind of a two-handed thing. We can boss up or we can live fearlessly or we can do both. Personally, in my life, I would like to be able to do both and know that I'm doing those two things well. So I'm just giving a second or two for other people to find it. I know some people were saying they couldn't see the link, so I'm trying to make sure they can see it. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. I hope that you have a good glass. You've watched your show. I have me a nice little light glass tonight of some champagne with a little splash of a little bit of orange juice mixture. It's like pineapple guava or something like that. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right. So we're not gonna be long before you tonight. Definitely gonna respect your time and mine. Remember, this is being streamed live to my YouTube channel, which is UC Dance, my original YouTube channel. I have three, but I only promote one, which is the UC Dance. Now, remind you, this is Facebook and YouTube. So definitely we're gonna be sharing the conversation in a moment. I'm gonna open up those chat that invite people into the chat room or into the live feed where you can actually give your experiences and some tips that you can give. Again, this is a good sharing night where we're going to share those tips to boss up and to live fearlessly. Now, what I want to bring to you the table tonight is that we've definitely been able to, in the last couple of weeks, we covered a lot of great topics. We've talked about dating. We've talked about education. We definitely talked about last week, Texas versus Winter Storm 2021. And so this week, I just thought it'd be a great way to talk about moving forward. It's still the beginning, technically, of a brand new year. We have not left the first quarter yet. And what we want to do is make sure that we're bossing up, okay? There are a lot of people that have great ideas, a lot of things that are going on in their personal life, and they don't make moves. We wait and say, oh, I'm going to do that next year. We put it off. We have this habitual way of doing things. And I want to make sure that we think about that as we go. Life is short, y'all, and we ain't got time. We ain't got time. I ain't trying to be the English teacher right now. I'm being very frank. We ain't got time to be wasting. You got to live every day. You got to boss up and you got to live fearlessly. So what I want us to be able to do is to think about how can we make moves on our dreams? I know sometimes it doesn't always seem like the right time. And I know for a lot of people, you want to say timing. Okay, you want to say timing. And I get that timing plays a role. But in the same way that we're saying timing, we have to also understand that if you don't get out there and you don't push yourself, you will never, and I do mean never, be able to see what you could have done. So one of the things that I really want us to start to really pay attention to is that we definitely have to learn how to boss up even in the midst of it. So I'm going to use myself as an example. In the last 3-4 years, I have literally launched 3 personal businesses of mine. And I know everybody doesn't know that about me because I don't always promote them in the same way or in the same form. One of the ways that I started a business was that I started a choreography business. Most people know me for dancing and being with dance team and then coach. So I started a choreography business that also deals with judging, that deals with making music mixes, which I'm good at. That a lot of people don't always know that because I don't promote it. But I make a lot of mixes for people musically and in my own mixes and do a lot of voiceovers and things like that. But people would never know that about me because I don't always promote it because I only promote it in the community in which it serves. So the dance community would know this about me, but not necessarily the mainstream media that knows me on my platform. Another business I started is that I am a travel agent who loves to travel, may I say. And I do that as well. I don't always promote it, but if you know me, you know that I'm a travel agent and that I will definitely take care of you. And then, of course, most people know me mainly for the last year or so, knowing that I sell jewelry. And so that's another way people know me. I do daily lives doing that because that's, of course, a sales job. So you have to be able to sell. But all 3 of those, I am my own business. Okay. I am my own independent travel agent. I'm on my own consultant. I'm all of those things. And so that was one way that I've learned to boss up in the last 3 to 4 years, because although I still have my 9 to 5 and it does pay well, at least for a single person, that is another way that I'm learning to boss up because I don't put all my trust in my 9 to 5. Okay, because we all know that they can, especially in the state that I live in, it is a right to a right to work state or something like that it's called, where they can fire you at will for any reason they want, good or bad. So that's something you have to always think about, that they could fire you, they could let you go, things like that. So I don't want all my cookies to be in one basket. So I have to spread my stuff around. So I am a serial entrepreneur is what they call it. And it's funny because my master's degree is in management, which had an emphasis in entrepreneurialism. So that was one way that I was learning to boss up, step out on faith, and try these different businesses and put my hand out there. Now, there's a lot of great ideas that I have not financially been able to do yet, but I am working my way to financial freedom, and I'm doing it in the best way that I know how. Okay, so another thing that we could also think about in this topic that I definitely want to discuss is not just the fact of bossing up financially. You have to boss up mentally and physically and emotionally as well. And part of that is really taking care of your mental health, knowing when to say, y'all forgive me, my cat loves to steal the show when she hears me talking to people down here. Okay, and she doesn't hear any other voices, so she thinks I'm talking to myself. But you have to learn how to boss up, dealing with learning how to take care of yourself. That's spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally. That means learning how to take those mental breaks. I know for me, when I get stressed, overwhelmed, I love to get on a plane and jet set. Okay, I got to get somewhere, go somewhere, get away from my normal environment. My phone is not very busy normally anyway, but I definitely turn my phone off and I literally engulf myself in the surroundings of wherever I end up at, because I will get on the plane and just go wherever the direction goes. I don't care. So that's one thing I love to do. Mentally, that's relieving for me because I am so busy in my personal life and my regular life that I cannot allow myself to stay in the same area, because I won't never make any growth or any movements forward. Okay. Oh, I saw a comment. I'm sorry, I wasn't even looking. Hey, Sip, how are you doing? He said, after this experience, I will never take time or life for granted. I am very hesitant at trying something new. Ah, Sip, don't say that. Cipriano, I cannot believe that. No, baby, we got to look. I'm glad that you are recognizing that, and you got to be able to boss up. I mean, you got to be able to live fearlessly. Never wait. Time isn't promised to any of us. And I mean, I definitely know that at this moment in life, you probably can understand that, because we think we're going to live forever because you do the same thing day in and day out. And I definitely can understand that. But I really, 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 really hope that once you are fully healed, that you are able to get up and make those moves. Do what you want to do. Check your bucket list off. I promise you, it will make you a much happier person. Okay. So, yeah, you want to make sure that and thank you for your comment. You want to make sure that you're definitely able to go and do those things that you want to do. Having that bucket list. I know if you've watched me or followed me on social media, everybody knows from our 30 35th birthday that I went skydiving. Now, initially, I wanted to do that for my 30th birthday, but for my 35th birthday, I went skydiving, and I'm going to go again. And everybody's like, "You're crazy. Black people don't do that." You know, it was all the why would you do that? You're crazy. Why would you want to kill yourself? You could just do whatever. But guys, car wrecks are more frequent than skydiving accidents. That's the funny part. You don't hear about skydiving accident. Have you heard about one? I'll wait. I'll wait. Tell me about a skydiving accident that you've ever heard about. You don't hear about them. They are so rare that it's when you hear about them, it's a big deal. They're rare. Now you hear more about bungee jumping accidents than you hear about a skydiving accident, because you have to learn how to live fearlessly. One thing I wanted to do is that I wanted to see the world from a bird's eye view. And I don't have a fear of heights. I'm not scared of heights at all. So I love getting high. I love things. Now I do look at the ground. I'm like, whoa, it's high, but I don't have an insane fear of heights. I don't mind getting high. And I will say again, skydiving was one of the most freeing experiences that I've ever had in my life. And I know people are like, how is that freeing? You're plummeting to the earth. But to understand it is to do it. And somebody told me before, it's very freeing. And I was like, I don't know if that's the right terminology that I would use. But when I did it, I definitely understood it in the moment. Like, it was freeing. Every care, every concern, everything that would normally go in my mind, because I'm ADHD. So definitely there's a lot of things going all the time, cycling. I was free of it. Like, I didn't have any idea. And you're like, well, just because you're falling out of a plane. It's not even about the falling, because I could think clearly. I could think. My heart wasn't racing or any of that crazy stuff like most people did. There was a little bit of adrenaline, but not a lot. Like, it was just freeing, because although we know the thing is that I'm falling, I'm floating. Like, it felt like a float. So there's just a rush of air and it felt like a float, but it was a freeing experience. If you ever wonder what like a bird feels like when it first takes off for the first time, that's literally what I felt like. But that was that live fearlessly part of what I'm saying. Is I bossed up. I faced one of the things that I thought I would never do that I did do. And there's a couple of other bucket list things I want to do. I went to Alaska. I've been skiing. You know, skiing is not necessarily a crazy adventure, but again, for a person who's never been on skis before, that's crazy. Okay. And I actually mastered skiing. Who knew? Now, I did snowboarding and I fell and busted my butt a couple of times. Did not like to snowboard, but skiing felt like I was rollerblading. Okay. It was really, really fun. And so again, you want to make sure you take care of yourself mentally. That's taking trips, that's going to the massage, that's, you know, whatever calms your nerve, you know, going to a concert, whatever those things are, you have to learn how to do that for yourself and boss up that way. Also, you want to boss up educational wise. Okay. Get those degrees, get those certifications, those licenses. Doesn't mean you have to go to college. Some people need to still get licenses or certifications. You may be doing hair, but maybe you're not certified. Get that certification. You may be good at doing nails, but you've never been licensed. Go get that license. Okay. You may know how to do electricity or HVAC or plumbing or whatever. Go get those licenses and certifications that will boss you up. You could be a truck driver. I said diver. You could be a truck driver. You may need to go get those they're not called license certifications. What are they called? Those things to your license. I forget what they're called. Crap. But as a truck driver, you want to go get those you go take those tests so you can do other driving. Like, you can drive tankers, you can drive those double loads that are linked together, like the FedExes and the Amazons and the what's the other UPS trucks do. You want to make sure you can do all of those types of things, but you have to get those little accreditations so that you can do that. So taking that step and investing into your life, into your business. Maybe you're in retail, but you've been only doing cashier and stuff, and that may be all you want to do. But sometimes you can boss up and go to the next level and become a manager, or maybe work on the business side, or become a salesman, or be a buyer for the company. We don't spend your life on the sales floor. That's all I can tell you. Okay. That's the best advice I've ever got. Never spend your life on the sales floor. Okay. One of my favorite managers that I ever had was very young at the time. And he was a country boy. We had nothing in common at the time. I was a little hood boy and he was a country white man. But he told me all the time, and it's one of the things that stuck to me today. You have to inspect what you expect. So if you're not inspecting the things that are going to make you great, how can you expect greatness? People think greatness is going to fall in their lap, and that is not the truth. By far from it. Okay, you have to make sure that that is really something that you want to do. And you have to make sure that you're going to elevate your life and set yourself up for greatness. Remember, life is not promised to us, and we have to make sure that we are putting ourselves in a position to where we will be able to move forward throughout our lives. Now, I'm getting ready to open up those lines and talk about living fearlessly and things like that. But before I do, I actually want to share my skydiving experience with you because I think that is something that is really, really fun. And I think it's another way for me to show you how I lived fearlessly when it came time for me. I definitely lived fearlessly. So I'm going to pull that up real quick, and then I'm gonna put the the link in the box, so that if you want to come on and talk or share some pointers or some tips with us, we definitely want to hear from you. This channel is a community, and we don't want to keep it all about us. What was the name of that place? There you go. I couldn't remember the name of that place, but I found it. All right, here we go. So we're gonna go to my video real quick. I'm on YouTube. My video is actually on YouTube. It'll be there for a year, they said, and then we'll have it. I'll have to re-download it before it disappears, but it's really, really fun. Let's see. And people have been skydiving. There's a lot of videos on here that was not here before. And I see quite a few of us darker skinned people skydiving. So clearly it's not just a white thing. People love to say that that's only white people do that. Oh, okay. Wait a minute, where I go? I think I passed my video. There I go. All right, let me pull me up. Okay, let me pull me up. All right, so we're going to, let me share my screen, and we're going to look at my good old video. All right. This is the opening, so it's about to come. All right, here I go.
Brandon, what's up, buddy? Oh man, that was amazing. So, do it again now? Hell yeah. My brother told me that he was jumping if I made it back, so get your ass ready. Yeah, buddy. We had a beautiful landing with that, dude. Yes, we did. Yeah, man. What do you think your favorite part is? Oh my God, I think the fall, like it's not what you think it is. It's really green. Very green. Yeah. Well, hey man, you did great up there. Thank you. And it was a gorgeous day to come for skydiving. Oh my God, God bless us. I can't believe it. All right, man. Right. Give me a high five. Congratulations. Welcome to the sport of skydiving. Thank you. We'll see you next time right here at Skydiving Company in Madisonville, Texas. Thank you. Later, buddy.
All right, y'all. So as you can see, that was just one of my adventures that I was able to take and actually, you know, find myself free and to experience. So I went on and put the link in Facebook and in YouTube. So if there's anybody who want to join and, you know, maybe talk about bossing up, maybe share some tips, maybe talk about their, you know, maybe making some commitment to boss up, or maybe even you know, come in and talk about some things they've done in their life, maybe living fearlessly. This is a time to do that. All right. So let's see. I don't know if anybody wanted to come up. I know tonight is kind of a busy night for many people. So, and I know a lot of TV shows are on. So I get it. You know, it happens. You know, every night can't be a packed night. Last week we had a really good crowd. You know, this week maybe not so much. It just goes up and down. But it's okay because I know they're going to watch the video. I get a lot of feedback all the time. So I definitely wanted to see if there's anybody who wanted to come in and share any tips with us or share their experiences or maybe some commitments they want to do. I know I've already made some decisions that I'm going to do some things this year for myself. I know remodeling my house is one thing I keep saying I'm going to do, and I've been saying it for a while, but I really think moving forward this year that I'm really going to remodel my house, do some cosmetic stuff. So I'm definitely going to see about some things like that. I know I'm going to do some traveling this year. I'm definitely going to go to a remote place that I've been wanting to go to for a while. And you'll just have to keep your mind open about where that is and see where I go. But definitely I will take y'all on a journey. Y'all know I have no problem telling y'all where I'm at when I get there. Yeah, that's pretty much tonight is just learning how to boss up and live fearlessly. You know, that's one thing I know I've been talking to my dad about that for a little while about living fearlessly and, you know, doing some stuff. And he's like, well, I'm gonna do that and do this. Like my dad is in his mid 60s. And I'm like, Dad, you're not getting any younger and you're not, you know, you're not living your life to full potential. And he's like, I know I'm gonna do that here and there. And it's like the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but it's like, man, look, ain't nobody got time for that. I saw my mom die at the tender age of 53. So like, it's not, we don't have life. And I know my mom did some living, but she was not able to live life to her fullest effect. And I just agree with that. And I think I've seen some friends not live life to their full effect. I mean, to the fullest effect. I've had so many people around me that kind of push things back and say, oh, I'm gonna do this year, I'm gonna do that next year, or I'm gonna go do this and do that. And that's not a way to live life, y'all. You gotta boss up and just live fearlessly. Step out there on faith. If you've never, if you've never went out there and tried it, then you'll never know if you'll fail. But if you fail to try, you'll never know what could have been. And that's one thing I always live by, is learning that you have to go out there and try. And sometimes that may mean falling on your butt. That may mean you may stumble, you may fall. But guess what? Those naysayers and those people that sit back and watch and look and say, hey, they did this, but they weren't successful and all of that. I mean, I get it, but I mean, at least you went out there and you tried, you braved, whatever the source may be. What about the people who never tried something, who could have been great and had great talents, but was too scared to step out there and just say, I want to try, I want to see what happens, and, you know, let the chips fall where they may. It's not about being famous. It's not about being rich, but it's about exposing yourself to greater and opening up those doors so that you can do more. Okay. So that's just something I was thinking about as I was clearly going through this conversation with myself. Again, I dropped the links in the chat box for YouTube and for Facebook so that if there was anybody who wanted to join me here live, once you click the link, it will give you the instructions on how to get here. And then you can share your voice, you can share your video. You don't have to be on the video if you don't want to. You can just share your voice, but just definitely wanted to open up the floors as I always do so that we can have great conversation and dialogue. If there's anybody here that wants to share. And if not, that's fine. I mean, I respect the fact that every night, like I said, won't be a great night. You won't get everybody on the same night. But last night we rocked the house. I mean, the people were here, and I really appreciate that. Just give a couple of more minutes and see, because I've pretty much said all that I wanted to share. I was hoping to have a little bit more banter with the audience tonight. I didn't want to make it so much of a talk like we did last week. I wanted a lot of more great tips. And I hear a lot of people talk about vision boards. I've seen a lot of people do the vision boards parties. That was something that just came to mind that I hadn't talked about. And the vision board party is a really good idea. I know for my team, I make my captains always try out for my team that I coach. And I always make them do a vision board. And the reason why, and I actually got that from a good mentor of mine as well, who coaches dance. And the reason I had her do a vision board is because it helps them make a direction for where they want to go. Some people are not visual. Some people don't see it. But if you write down your vision, your goals, and what you want to do, short-term, long-term, I always talk about that, having short-term and long-term goals. The reason that a lot of people think, and a lot of my friends be like, oh, well, Brandon did this, Brandon did that, is because I make short-term, long-term goals. What is it that I want? And I reach for those goals. And I don't let nobody tell me what I can and can't do. I get it done. Whether you like it or not, I'm real pushy when it's something that I want, and I'm going to find my way to it. And I don't take no for an answer. It's not something that I accept very well. And so making those short-term and long-term goals will definitely be of service to you, because you want to have something you can reach. The short-term goals are definitely something you can reach within a short amount of time, or, weeks, months, days, whatever the case may be. And then those long-term goals are something that's going to take you a while, maybe a year or 2 or 5 to get to that goal. But you're giving yourself a reachable goal and enough time to do the work to get to where you want to be. And that's just something that I thought about as we move forward. All right. As we move forward, it's just something that I had thought about. It's those short-term, long-term goals and that vision board. That vision board is really good. And a lot of times it's good to have those friends that are really good that you can bounce those ideas off of. They can help you see your ideas come to fruition, because you really want to be able to have those people that are not necessarily negative, or those cheerleaders in your background that are going to always cheer you on regardless of what it is that you say, because those people are always going to help you boss up. They're going to help you reach that next level. Even if it's just the cheers are there to motivate you. And they're definitely going to help you live fearlessly. Okay. And do it without being scared to fail or to fall or to stumble or to do whatever it is that you may have to do going forward. All right. Well, I'm going to try one more time and see. I'm not for sure how many people may be here. You may not be willing to talk. I don't see some of my regulars in the chat room today, so they may not be available, and that's okay. I'm not, no judgment here. We're just going to go on. But again, there's that link if you wanted to join. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close this conversation out, because I've actually said all it is that I wanted to say tonight, because I really felt like we were going to be able to have that conversation. But it's okay, because I'm actually going to start having some speakers on that I'm going to invite to talk to us and to speak to the people. But remember, make sure that you please, if you don't do anything else, subscribe to my YouTube channel at UC Dance. Each subscription is very important to me, because again, I'm trying to start the community tab, and I think you have to have at least 100 subscribers to do the community tab. And although Facebook is where most of you see my stuff, if you could just politely go to your YouTube channel and log in. I know most people have a YouTube subscription. Log into YouTube and subscribe to UC Dance, not because I'm trying to market anything to you, but just because I need that to start the community tab. I really want to start a community of weigh-in, for the weigh-in, and that way we can really start to have these conversations and think about topics. And it'll be a place where you can suggest future topics to me as well, because it's hard coming up with topics all the time. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, what do I want to talk about? What is interesting? What will get the people? That could be something that's hard. So, you think about it all the time. But anyway, well, it doesn't look like anybody's going to come on tonight, which is perfectly fine with me. I'm not bothered by it at all. But I hope that at least with a little bit of knowledge that I've given you, that you've been able to think about bossing up and what bossing up could look like. And definitely thinking about living fearlessly and the different ways that we can live fearlessly, from business decisions to career decisions, financial decisions, and then definitely living fearlessly by having that bucket list of things that you want to do where you have no takebacks. Okay. Life is too short. Again, I say life is too short for us to not boss up and live fearlessly. Make the most out of it. And not just not having a good time. That means making sure that you are setting yourself up, or your kids or your family or whatever those people that depend on you are, setting them up for success when you're long and gone. Okay. And making sure you make great memories along the way. So there is something that you've left behind, even when your body is no longer here, right? We all want to be a great memory. Nobody wants to fade into the dark abyss, right? And we see that happen a lot to people. You know, after a while, you get faded into the dark abyss. So make those footprints that will be lasting and ever impacting to the crowd. All right, guys. Well, I don't know, but as of right now, it seems like we're about to wrap it up, unless some people just came on and they want to have further discussion regarding the topic. But I've said all I needed to say regarding the topic for myself. I was opening the floor for everybody to see if they wanted to add anything to the topic, but as of right now, it doesn't. I haven't seen any comments or anything that is telling me to stay around or to open the floor anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and wish y'all a good night, to sleep tight, to do not let those bed bugs bite, and know that in the morning, everything will be all right, because we definitely know the God that we serve. In the words of Mother Tabitha Brown, I want you to have a good day and or night. And if you cannot have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. All right. I want y'all to stay prayed up, masked up, covered up, sanitized up, soaked up, grace and mercied up, and everything in between. Okay. And in return, I'm going to pray a little bit for you. If you could only pray a little bit for me. And in return, I'm going to pray a lot more for you if you could only pray a lot more for me. Y'all, this has been a fun conversation. Regardless of how many is here, somebody somewhere will need to hear this conversation, and it may just be the right thing to turn their life around, y'all. Make sure that you boss up in 2021 and live fearlessly. Do not look back. Go forward and do it without fail. I hope y'all have a wonderful, amazing night. Please share the video for someone who you may think may need to hear this conversation, this simple little conversation. And also go back and subscribe to the YouTube channel, okay? We need to get that membership up, and I hope that that will help to grow my membership. Other than that, I love you all. I hope y'all have a wonderful night, and I will holler at you guys later. Bye.